Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in Ireland. Jack Ryan Finca Museum Rioja red wine finish with 58.1%. One of 275 bottles. Now this is a single cask bottling. If you go to Celtic Whiskey Shop, they have a cask strength bottling with 57.5%, which runs for €150, which I think is fairly expensive. All right, so I got this sample here from Alan from the Whiskey Live Dublin 2019. Thank you very much. And he told me a little bit about the story of Jack Ryan. Beggar's Bush was a family pub in the 18th and 19th centuries. Very interesting what they would do actually up until about 2000, not 2000, up until the 1950s, 60s, whatever that was. They would go to DWD and they would buy whiskey. So they'd bring their French wine barrels there. They'd let them be filled up with new make, take them back, roll them back, carry them back, transport them back to the pub and let them sit in the basement in the cellar. And then when they were mature enough, they would actually sell them to their patrons, to the people who visited their pubs. Now this is a very common thing to do back in Dublin. The Dublin Bar did it. J.J. Corey's was trying to actually revive the art of bonding. So you'd actually bring your cask to the distillery, but you'd have your own warehouse, your own maturation site, and even, which is very interesting, Jack Ryan has their own also bottling facility. That's great. So they have their own warehouse and their own bottling facility, and they let someone else distill. Is it triple distilled or double distilled? I was told it might be triple distilled, but it tastes a little bit like double distilled. That's me. All right, so they started out with their range, which was called Beggar's Bush, named after the pub. After that, they named it, the next whiskey was Haddington's Road, where actually the pub is located. Then we have the Finisher's Touch, because the father would actually finish some of the whiskeys. After that, we had something which was in Calvados. I need to turn the label around here. This is the Tumevara, a Calvados finish, 10-year-old, 46%. Very interesting whiskey. And now we're starting off a new series called the Cask Elite Finish. And that's why it's the Finca Museum Rioja. It's which I have here. Okay. So, now in the nose, I get a very evident red wine finish influence. Now, I like Rioja. I actually love Rioja. A great Spanish red wine in the evening with cheese and crackers to a meal. I have bought many bottles of Rioja in my life, even in Spain, a great type of whiskey. Now, I'm not always sure if I like to have that in my whiskey. Red wines are something which I'm not really so fond of at the moment. So, now the nose, there's a lot of strawberry, wild strawberries from the forest, a little bit of a weak, what I imagined the very first time I sniffed this was I was back in the Netherlands. It was 30 years ago. My guest family had taken me on an excursion. It was November, maybe January. It was dark at 4 o'clock over here, and they took us to a waffle house. And said, Jason, you have to try the best waffles in the world. I was like, okay. So I ordered the waffles, at least with my broken German back then, 30 years ago. Or they ordered it for me, and they brought back wonderful, hot, steaming waffles with vanilla sauce, and on top of those were the raspberries. Not cherries, not strawberries, raspberries. And they were delicious. That's what I'm getting here. All right, so I'm going to nip at 58.1%. It's a little bit hot. I'm going to try to take it down like 50%. 48-50%, my sweet spot at the moment. On the finish, I'm still getting a little bit more wild strawberries and the raspberries, a little bit of the vanilla in there. The wood, actually, it seems to be a European cask, a European oak cask. I'm getting a little tiny bit of that that dark chocolate moment. It's actually very nice. Smell again. Long-lasting finish as well. A good Irish whiskey. In the nose, it's actually exactly where I would like to have had it. This is good. Wow, I hit the proof just right. I'm going to say 46, 48%. Good whiskey. Very good whiskey. Feels and tastes a little bit more like a double distilled Cooley than it does a triple distilled Bushmills. Nothing else out there is that age otherwise. 10 years is what I would guess with a nice finish. No age statement, unfortunately, from the bottle I found online and the bottle I have here. Nice finish. I'm getting actually a little bit of cucumber water towards the end with the raspberries and with the vanilla and with the oak and with the waffles all together here. Nice, very nice. A B minus. Good whiskey. Very good whiskey. Now, value for money. 150 euros. Now, over here in Germany, we have a problem. We have about 400 different German distillers at the moment who are distilling whiskey. And so they'll bring out maybe 1 or 2 casks a year. They'll fill it up into 0.5 liter bottles. Irish whiskey, we have another 375 liter bottle here from Spade and Bushel, and they'll be charging 50, 60, 70 euros for that half liter bottle. And people are just totally up in arms going, why? No, it's not worth it. No, it's a no age statement, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is a no age statement. This is a single cask, 58.1%. But 150 euros is pretty steep, to be honest. I'm going to give it a D for the value for money. Is it a good whiskey? Yes. Is it a great whiskey? No. Is it worth 95 euros? Maybe. It would have gotten at least a C plus from me for this value for money. But 150 is just kind of out of the ballpark at the moment for what they're doing here. Hey, why? Because you can, all right? People are just asking for prices at the moment, which are just a little bit utopish, and it's just not really worth it, to be honest. All right, be careful where Irish whiskey's heading. Don't go overboard with the prices, please, people. Still think of us and not just you. Yes, I'm sure a Rioja cask is not going to be cheap, but so if you do the math here, if you just take a look at the 50 euros more that I said this is not worth, 50 times 200 is actually 10,000. Now, 10,000 euros is not the price of a cask. I don't care where you get the cask at, what type of cask it is, I know. All right, so even a 2,000 euros for a great, great cask is a lot of money. All right, and so don't go telling me that the cask was so expensive. Sorry. If you get the chance to try it, please do. Very, very nice whiskey. So, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Europe tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. 275 bottles is rare. That's good. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell others. If you want to share the video as well, maybe on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on any other sites you use and frequent. Thank you very much. All the best. If you want to contact me, whiskyjason@gmail.com. See you soon. Bye-bye.